set boundaries before you leave.
Set boundaries
before you leave, and then you have to stick to them when you're there. If it's stuff that you would rather them schedule an appointment for and come to your business to get done later, you have to stick with that, regardless of how much you could make in the moment.
$250, $25 makes you hollers. Hello, everybody.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Laser Source Podcast, number one podcast if you like to holler.
Hollers.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Miranda was like, what number episode is this? 128, I think.
It's up there.
Yeah, we're under 130, but over 125. I know that off the top of my head without checking.
What's the under?
Miranda really wanted a like DTF machine, and then I showed her one off of JP Plus, and she was like, they're $5,000, and I was like, yeah, if you want to print more than a pocket size thing, yeah, they are expensive. And then she was like, well, we could probably swing it. And then I was like, yeah, it's ink though, so like you have to use it every day, and you don't, like, it gets all effed up, and you can't leave it for any considerable amount of time without doing serious maintenance. And I showed her, I literally, because I knew she wouldn't listen to me about it. So I literally took screenshots on the page on Johnson Plastics Plus where it warns you in giant red all caps letters that you cannot let the machine sit for more than like 48 hours. And she was like, oh, never mind. That's out. We're out. Forget it.
But that's where you can order transfers, right?
Yeah, you're going to talk about that, right? Don't we have something coming out with that?
Yeah, I can do that.
I just finished editing Kyle's episode. What's up, Kyle? On how to basically, I forget how you said it. I need to look now, but I really like the way that you wrote it, Kyle. It was, where is it? It was so long, and I was just like, man,
I obnoxiously made that description far too long.
No, I know, but I kind of want to use it as the episode title because I feel like it'd be really like SEO friendly. Hold on, let me open Premiere. I want to say word for word. No, it's better than that.
Alex,
where did I even see it? Where did you put that label?
Do you want me to find it?
You and I have PTSD from the Onajet DTG printer.
Yeah, dude, we absolutely do.
DTG is no
never gonna let it go.
No, I'm never gonna forget that time in our life.
I'm never gonna forget the amount of money that just.
Oh my god!
Just so much money.
So much money
went into that.
A lot.
Well, now I don't remember where I saw it, Kyle. Where?
Create a template for any product, form fit any art you want, and align it for production.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that'll be the title of the episode because that's what it's about. It's really good. Kyle did a great job. I cut out every breath that Kyle took in between his sentences to compact this episode as much as humanly possible, because like an hour of footage that he sent me, and he said he had already condensed it. And so I condensed it even more. I got it down to like 25 minutes of Kyle not breathing between his words. And every second that is left is like information about achieving that goal. Can you say it one more time, Kyle? What is it?
Oh, I just closed it.
Oh, you son of a bitch. This is why we edit the podcast.
Create a template for any product, form fit any artwork you want, and align it for production.
All right, buddy. Don't get too excited about it. It's a good episode, and you guys are really going to like it. So I just finished the straight through edit, and I need to put like the intro and outro on it, give it the little glam, makeover for just the laser everything aesthetic. But once that's done, it's going up, and that'll be like early tomorrow morning. So you guys will have that to look forward to between 10 and 10:30. On that. Really quick before we go way out of bounds. Thanks to Johnson Plastics Plus, our sponsor for this episode. In the episode, this is what got me off track in the first place. in that episode we were just talking about, Kyle is engraving a really nice like razor blade, like knife, like utility knife blank. This thing is sick. Make Kyle full screen. He just grabbed it. Let's see. There we go.
Way to kill the surprise on that. Oh god, my lighting is terrible.
They're really cool.
Ooh.
So he customizes a bunch of blades, and he's not even showing the actual utility knife. But you can get it from Johnson Plastics Plus. There it is. For
There's some
15% off, probably using the discount code in the description. They don't include everything on the site, but they include most things, and I'm sure that this would
Nice.
be.
That would definitely fall under it for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. So if you're interested in that, you want to get one ahead of time and follow along with Kyle. Did you actually put the files up on the project database, Kyle?
If I didn't, they will be. I
Okay.
believe I threw the files in the edit folder, so one of us will throw them up.
All right. Yeah. So keep an eye on the project database too, because you'll be able to download the file that Kyle uses and literally like go
You
through
could
it. with him,
recreate.
so.
You don't even have to make the template for that if you want to follow along. Like it's
Yeah.
there already for you.
It's already there. Yeah. So that'll be a really good one. We also have two guests with us today. Anthony's hardly a guest. Michael, you've been absent for a minute though. What's up, dude?
Dude, I'm here. I've been busy. I've
Yeah,
been doing
I
some
know
I've been doing some mobile laser engraving lately. That's
Oh,
been
nice.
And I just finished shooting at least most of the video, the talking head part of my experience doing mobile laser engraving.
So wait. Let's define mobile laser engraving, because that
Okay.
could be a couple different things. So what are you doing?
What I'm specifically talking about is companies have been contacting me multiple. I don't know if they're working together or coordinating, but just saying, hey, can you come out to our event and engrave things live on the fly for people and just take it in the face for 3 days straight? And I'm like, yes. So I've been taking my machine out, setting up a booth, and they pay me ahead of time in advance at a daily rate and all my other fees. And I just sit there and I just engrave whatever it is that they have me to do. It's
what kind
crazy.
of
That's pretty dope.
companies are these? Like, just like what industry are they in?
Well, I have this recent one was at Truist Park, the baseball park.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And so Truist contracted through a event coordinator to reach out. They had an idea that they wanted to engrave names on dog tags for a military appreciation event.
Oh, that's
Like,
cool.
That's awesome.
like thousands of them. And I was like, and they're like, can you do this? And I was like, yes. You know me, Alex. I was like, yes, we'll figure it out. And so it was 3 days of engraving dog tags, and I set up a little booth, and I brought the epilogue, set up a jig with like a 20 jig, and I was just sitting there. I had some people working the counter taking data, and I'm just loading them into the epilogue. Epilogue can do 40 names on dog tags in 1 minute and 12 seconds.
So you were doing like cues basically. So you'd have like,
yeah, I'd cue it up. I'd let it build up, and then just slam them in there. And a minute later, on the end table, it's like, "Here, come get your dog tag." They're like, "Yay!"
Oh, so you just like throw them out, like, and they would just attack them like dogs.
They were just waiting at the end of the line. And yeah, they loved it. And the kids could climb up and look through the window, and watch the machine go. It was great. So I've been. It's kind of a new thing.
Maybe Miranda remembers. Miranda's in chat, but like our first year in business, Wegmans asked me to like do. They were having like these big like galas for some kind of like cause or event or something. Wegmans is like a Safeway here, and they like wanted us to do like a bunch of wine glasses for like their sponsors on the spot. For people, and then like they didn't end up biting, because at the time this was like before we had gotten into UV was an unknown quantity at that time, and CO2 Galvo wasn't cutting it, and for glass obviously you're not doing it with fiber, so we would have had to like bring the ohm tech, and it was just like too expensive. They weren't doing enough quantity to make it worth the price. I think that's why. Yeah, Miranda said they wanted us to travel to them with a CO2, which like I would do, but you're going to pay for that. You know, that comes with a cost. And for a baseball field, that
Yeah.
is probably worth it, you know. But
I mean, yeah, it was
like
3 days straight, and it was a small item, and I'm releasing a whole video either next Monday or maybe Friday on kind of what I've learned and kind of what to ask when people come to you with this kind of stuff, like the questions you want to ask the client and what kind of equipment
did
you
you
should
get
have.
B-roll of you doing it?
Yes.
While you were there.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
And I'll include
That's
I'll include that in the video. So, and then another company wants me to come and do cups in a few months, and that's going to require 2 lasers because now I got to do names on cups, and they want like 300 cups a day, and it's a 3-day event.
Dude,
so I don't know where they're
do you own a CO2
coming
galvo
from,
yet?
but I don't.
Bro.
No, but I have the I have the G100 now, and I have the Epilogue. So I'll be bringing both of those to this other event to be able to work 2 operator stations at once.
That's craziness to me. This is, if you've ever had a sign from God that it's time to purchase a CO2 galvo, it would be this. I would be buying one for that event, dude. It's such a light, so much of a lighter package
to watch to explain. Like if only someone made a video about it.
If only someone made a video about how much easier they are to CO2 galvo.
Well, the Epilogue Edge and the G100 aren't really that big, Alex. Can fit them both in the back of my pickup truck. They're not.
I know, but they're really big compared to a galvo laser.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see.
And they're still slower.
I don't know, man. The G100 can do that tumbler name on the tumbler in 1 minute. So that's all I need. I get into that later. 1 minute. That's the target for doing these kinds of events.
60 seconds.
You get like 1 minute, minute and a half max. Get out of my face. Move on to the next one. If you're doing longer than that, you're not going to be able to serve all the people. That's what it comes.
I mean, even then, dude, like 60 people an hour.
Speaking of 60 people,
depends on how big the event is. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you have to do it. You have to do a cap for the day.
I'd be nervous. I'm over promising like what I would be able to do when showing up to an event like that. I feel like I'd be like overestimating my capabilities.
I'll tell you what they paid me after the show.
I feel like you kind of have to do like
have a different conversation.
I feel like you kind of have to do like it's like the first X amount of people who come, like this will be there, come get it while you can, kind of a deal. Because otherwise, yeah, you could get in a pickle. But that's where
and then that is a very important thing. Those are all things to consider. Is like, what if you blow out in the first half of the day of whatever they wanted you to do? It could happen sometimes, or it can be dead slow. It can be dead slow. So you got to make stipulations in your contract. Like, what if this happens? You're still paying me, right? Yeah. If I blow out of your inventory, I still get paid, right? So
another thing that, and you probably talk about this in your video, but like, be careful with the time math that we're doing here, because it's never like just 60 seconds per person.
No. Like, there's processing.
There's like time.
Yes.
Between that for sure, and I'm sure you go all into that. That sounds like one that people aren't going to want to miss. So that's going up on your channel this week.
Yeah, it's just a short one. I'm going to try to get it out by Friday, but it's just it's not terribly long. It was just I've been wanting to like share what I've been doing lately, because I haven't done a lot of it in my career, but I'm starting to get a hang of, after making a few mistakes recently that I keep privately to myself that I could have done better. I'm starting to kind of learn, like, okay, next time, I'm going to do this. I'm going to ask this question. This wasn't really ideal. I can fix this. So
I'm just looking forward to seeing you sweat behind a table, man. I miss the days when we rolled into the gun shows.
Oh yeah.
And we were just like, "What's up? Drop your ARs on the table." And then
We'll do whatever you want. Just tell us. We'll make it happen. Like that.
That was like that was the butt pucker of a century, though. Like all weekend, dude. From the moment we pulled into the lot till the minute we left, just puckered butthole. It's rough.
Yeah.
What customers don't you want to make mad? These guys.
All these guys.
The room full of loaded automatic weapons.
Don't worry, my ammunition's in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. What's up, Anthony? You look lost, bro. What are you doing?
I'm just living the dream, man. And I've gone like a week without firing any lasers. I'm starting to get that itch. My
Sorry,
wife
what?
had
A week.
a week. Yeah, my wife had surgery last Monday.
Oh, that's right, dude. That's right.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. She put on a brave face. She good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's doing really good. She's recovering
Yeah.
well. So
Good stuff.
just
The kid's giving her a hard time.
Oh, always. Yeah.
They're like, yo, mom's down for the count. Let's fucking set the house on fire.
Pretty much. Yeah.
They're like,
fucked
Dad's
up.
the only thing between us and that jar of just like
5 pounds of
5 pounds.
Albanese pineapple gummy bears. Yeah.
Luckily,
Yeah.
you've got like the wingspan. I feel like you can kind of like envelop them as
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah. I've gotten really good at hurting toddlers. So it's it's a skill set.
There's your
Mark
soundbite,
really
Alex.
was like,
Oh yeah, no, I got it. That'll be
Are we
that'll
editing
go up
that
in
out
shorts.
for DCF
for-
or no? Do we edit that out? That's all right. It's fine.
Oh,
like
Reza
herding
says,
cats,
hope
but
she
with
has a
less fur.
speedy recovery. We didn't even say hi to chat today either.
Well, I've been waiting
Yeah,
for
we
you to
dove
shut
in.
the fuck up.
All right, well, fine. Let's shut the fuck up. I just wanted to touch base with Anthony. We heard Michael's life story, and then Anthony like barely got any attention. So I was just trying to be polite.
Oh, you said all right. Well, hi,
Anyway.
Jet. Go ahead,
Anyway,
Mike,
Anthony, you were saying toddlers. Continue.
yeah, it was just it's been a tough week. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping tomorrow to get back in the shop and get some work done. So I'm got a little bit of a backlog going, but we'll get through it.
For a second, I was like, just bring the kids to work with you. Then I was like, I've met his kids. Don't do that. Nah.
Well, they're still in school too, so we have another 6 days of school here. 'cause
They're like
make up
they're
for-
like old enough that they could do some damage, but not old enough that they would stop themselves from killing each other with lasers. You know, it's like, but like they're not so little that they'll just like hang out on the floor while you do stuff. You know, they're like at just the right age where they could like fucking seriously injure people because they were bored.
yeah,
They're almost at the age where you can put them to work.
getting there. Yeah. Like that kid at LBX was just like, "What's your name?"
Dude, that kid was just like selling machines all day.
That kid was
Oh,
like
yeah.
12.
That kid was awesome, dude.
He was
Yeah,
actually
that's
43
pretty
years old and just a short person.
All
What's your name?
It's a ploy.
right, go ahead, Matt. Now you got your pause.
All right.
There you go.
All right. So here we go. Copeland got some questions we'll come back to.
Oh yeah, ask your questions, guys. If you have
Yeah, get 'em out
questions,
there.
today is a Q&A day, and Kyle, I'm sure, is very busy starring the questions you're leaving in chat. So if you want your question answered today, go ahead and type it in chat so that Kyle can give it a star. We'll
You
swing
have
back
a
around
lot
to
of
it.
smart people plus me that are available to answer your questions.
That's right.
A lot of Australians showing up, huh? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
like there's literally people from like down under across
Getting
the pond. Like
along.
everybody.
Hey Google, what time is it in Australia?
Time to watch Laser Everything.
11:26 a.m. This is actually a really good time for the Australians.
Yeah, they're probably
All right.
having lunch.
Sitting down for their
podcast at
lunch
work
break,
style.
eating their
Yeah, I think
Vegemite sandwiches.
They're having brekkie with the kangaroos.
Oh my god. Look at this. Jason said his truck has AC, heat, running water, and a battery backup system. Holy
Nice.
shit.
That's
And
wild.
pontoons.
That's actually
That's
just a
how we got to. That's how we got into Australia.
Yeah, that's fair. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's fair.
Okay. There you go. That's everybody. Everybody.
Cool.
And then my day today was spent fixing my laser. Hey, we're watching from
funny.
the future. Nice. Yeah, my day was fixing my laser, man. I had a butt connector problem.
You have a butt problem, all right.
I did. I literally had to tell Kyle yesterday. He goes, "So did you ever figure out what's wrong with your laser?" And my legitimate answer was butt connectors. He was just like, "Excuse me." I was like, "I can't." Like, that's really what it's called. So basically, where the water chiller connects through the interlock, I had an issue, and basically there was some like tension had like loosened up on this connector, and I had to put in a new connector, and that was it. And like it literally has been spontaneously stopping. Like it'll work fine, it's doing awesome, and then randomly stopped, and that's it.
Does it like? Are you talking about where the hose like grabs onto the thing?
Pretty much, like, so around there, and I'll take a picture. Like, I
Was it
literally
zip tied?
no, it actually has like a heat shrink on it, so I had to cut the heat shrink
Ew.
away and like take the connector. So it's just a silver connector with blue. I don't even know what it is on there.
Wait, is this electrical?
Yeah, remember how we said it was a connecting issue?
Yeah.
Like it was. You said it was
Well,
electrical.
I don't know. You could have like a water connection issue.
Well, and that's basically what it was. Like I literally found someone on YouTube. I'll have to find their thing. Like I just happened to like type in something, and I was like, oh, that's what's happening to me. And I just was like, beep, boop, boop, and that was it. So there you go. But
Man,
yeah, finally took care of that.
Fascinating story.
Yeah, there's really not a lot to it.
I learned so much from this.
I got a camera. I'll take a picture. We'll do some stuff. It'll be a cool video. Like you got to ask. Out of all the most technical people, it ain't me. Like I saw the problem, I fixed it, it was good to go. And then
That's good.
the other thing too is I made an awesome thumbnail. Michael was saying how amazing it was. It actually, he reached out to us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it got me to come on the show.
Can we talk about the so did you generated these with AI? Yeah.
Yeah. So I used Midjourney. So that was actually one of the things we were going to talk about. So we've been talking about with the Johnson Plastics Plus sent over the sublimation printer. You guys know all about that, or you will because we got the video. That's not the one that I even used. But what's really cool is I thought about like different ways. My daughter wanted shirts to be made. And I was like, well, I can only make them on polyester shirts with sublimation. So let me think of cool ways to come up with art because I suck at art, as you guys know. I don't do paint. I don't do color really well, but I can come up with words really well. So I went into Midjourney. I paid my $60 for a year's worth of like playtime, basically. And then I started generating photos. So for our thumbnail today, I went onto Midjourney and I typed in UFO firing lasers down at a kraken as it comes out of the water.
I mean, that is what this is pictures of. So
yeah, so it generated 4 pictures for me, and then the one that I settled on was actually changed the ratio. So I literally was like, I changed the ratio to 16:9 for the YouTube thumbnail, and like did some cool stuff in Adobe and got it to where it looked good for a thumbnail. But what's really cool is because my daughter wanted these on different shirts, and I was thinking, okay, what other items can I do this on? If you here put it back on me for a second, pretty please. So this is where I was been looking around, and there's this company called Ninja Transfers. Whoop, there you go. And so they literally make transfers. So what Michael had just talked about was DTG printing, which is direct to garment printing. And so literally a shirt gets treated with a chemical, and then you basically print to it, and your print will adhere to the shirt, and that's it. But for people who don't have the money to purchase those kinds of machines, or you don't have the time or the space, like me, like I don't have $5,000 to drop on it. And like Alex said, ink is a bitch. Like I don't know what else to say about it. They make DTF sheets. So these are things that you can cut out on things called gang sheets. And so I'm going to do a video on this for you guys. But basically it's how can you make your money back buying these different items and expand what your shop can do. With adding color. And so these come and you can store these just anywhere, like in a bin, keep them in a nice dry, cool place. And these transfer right onto the shirt. So this was the transfer a minute ago. So that's, you put it on the shirt. And then my daughter picked out the shirt. I told her she should get a white shirt, but that basically just transferred with like 15 seconds of pressing. Bada bing, bada boom. So really cool. So that heat press,
that's pretty dope, actually.
Yeah.
That one looks pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying. So for like, I wish you would have had a white shirt. Like I think it would look cool with like a white or blue or pink or something. But it says, and so this is actually from Ninja Transfers, which by the way, we do have an affiliate link that I'll post for you guys. But long story short, these are all from a pack you can get for free. Like I went on their website and said, please send samples, and for anybody, nobody special. It said, here's our free sample kit, $0. Shipping was $0. I hit send and I put my information in, made an account. And so I guess they get my account information, no big deal. This shirt is a cotton shirt, Jack, I see you asking. So that's just a cotton, I think it's like a poly cotton blend, but the poly is only like 25%. And polyester, in the video that I've got coming out soon, we talk about polyester being 65% for sublimation. So there's really a lot to learn with this kind of stuff, but this makes, I mean, this is 16 cents per square inch is what these come out to. The other question was, what material or what will they transfer to anything that can handle the heat? Oh yeah, yep, Jason's saying it. They'll transfer to anything that can handle the heat and temp. They actually make permanent stickers too. So you can actually get sticker sheets where you could have your kid or sell them or do whatever, and basically with an iron, so you can make little tiny ones that you could hand out to people and do that. And Vince is saying he does DTF transfers onto wood. Do they go onto acrylic? Yes. So literally everything. And the nice thing about this with sublimation, moisture matters a lot, because with sublimation, gasification happens. So literally the ink turns into gas and adheres to the substrate that you're putting it on. So you have to preheat it, wait a little bit, put the thing on there. And there's nothing wrong with that.
You really should have the affiliate link in the description.
Yep. So didn't know we were talking about it today.
I didn't either.
Anyways, I'll put that in there while we're talking next. But these are really, really cool. And for like 30 or 40 bucks, I'm going to make some, like, so I've got these hats laying around, and I'm actually going to make some hats using them. So I think it'll be pretty cool.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's what's really cool is you can literally take these, put them on a hat, and have full color hats. So you can literally do like I've got a couple designs that are coming. I made a gang sheet for 35 bucks. And it's 2 foot by 2 foot, and it's everything that you can put onto it. So I'll share that in a minute too. So there you go.
Shout out to Ronnie Halleck. I don't know if Ronnie's actually here right now or not, but if you heard my phone bing, it's because we got a new patron on the new Make Army Patreon. If you guys don't know what that is, if you don't need all of the amazing resources that come with the Laser Master Academy and you just want to support the channel, there's new ways to do that. And you can find out more right here at lasereverything.net/support. But yeah, the Laser Master Academy can be a lot for some people, and some people, believe it or not, really just want us to continue making videos on the channel, and they want to support what we're doing. We're really grateful for that. You can now support us via Coffee. YouTube memberships have been completely revamped. Patreon and LiberaPay. There's a nice little key that tells you what you get and what payment methods things accept. The Laser Master Academy has very infamously only ever accepted Stripe, and there is no sign of that changing in the future. So we wanted to offer a couple options that accepted PayPal as well, especially for our friends in the EU. If that sounds like something that interests you, check it out. Again, it's lasereverything.net/support. The Patreon's actually picking up a little bit. It's been up for like 2 weeks now. We got 15 total members, 5 paid. So shout out, guys. Thank you so much for participating in the new Make Army line of supporter.
Thank you.
It really does make a big difference. So just want to shout that out real quick.
Man, got a lot of stuff going on.
How are our stars doing, Kyle?
We got some questions built up. We got like 9 of them, I think. 10 of them.
Cool. We can start. I mean, we just hit 30.
Yeah. So Al Copeland says, I bought a Momport rotary. Do they make an adapter to keep the cups in line? I don't really know what the Momport rotary looks like, so I'm going to pull it up too.
Yeah. Looks like they have a couple options. I see hot dog rollers.
Yeah.
You see wheels.
Yeah, we'll do it this way.
Yeah, what
got the Rotoboss knockoff going on.
Yeah. So if you got the first one here, this is your old hot dog roller. No, you would have to like custom make one for that. I'm pretty sure. Because if you look where it is, you're basically there's nothing to like put it on. And you also have to like find a way to get around the belt that's here. If you got this guy here, again, no, but you might be able to find one on Etsy for something like this. There's a couple of people who make like printed out ones with a wheel and stuff, or like a bump guard. Here's your another hot dog style rotary we covered, and another one. And then this guy here is very similar to like the Rotoboss, Pyburn, or similar, where you have like a leg that can kick up. Although this one doesn't have the alternate side. But at least this one comes with a clip. I'm assuming you're not talking about this one because that's what you're asking about. So no, you'd probably have to make one. Sorry to say. Sorry, bud.
Didn't I see somewhere, might have been years ago, where people were using rubber bands to like wrap around the cup through the rotary wheels to help keep it like secured to the drive wheels or something. I don't know. Maybe that was something I saw a long time ago. Would that not work with the hot dog roller? I've never used one of those, honestly.
I mean,
It could work with a hot dog roller.
Yeah,
Jason
you'd have to like
made those, didn't
disassemble it and get the rubber band around the wheels, right? And then bolt them back on. But after it's on there, you could
I
probably
mean, you
just
could
remove
technically
the cup.
get kind of a loose one, and then every time you put a cup in, just stretch it up and then snap
Yeah.
it back down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would work really well. I don't see why that wouldn't work.
Yeah, could even like throw one at the top, one at the bottom, even.
Yeah, something like that might work.
Miranda said boys just got married.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Congrats,
threw that
boys.
Congrats,
And
boys.
Diana. Congrats, guy.
Outside of that, I don't really have any ideas. Michael had that solid one there with the rubber band. Most of the time when it comes to like these budget ones that are between 100 and 200 bucks, a lot of the time there aren't readily available accessories. Sometimes you can find them on Etsy, but usually you just got to kind of like 3D print them or like laser cut one out of acrylic or something and like cut some bolt holes and screw and tap some holes and whatever else. Another tip, Alex has
Just in the background
Oh,
here.
there he
while we're
is.
chatting.
I lost track of what I was saying. I got distracted.
Sorry, I
by the
distracted you with Boyce's beautiful imagery.
Yeah.
Boyce was on the podcast. If you guys are new here and you don't know, Boyce was on the podcast with us for a very long time.
Yes.
And his business was so successful, he basically had to cut something, and it was us. No hard feelings, Boyce. But yeah, man, he finally got married to the love of his life, and we're super stoked for him. These look great.
We
man.
love to see the good stuff. So
Yeah, that's super cute. Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there while I was paying attention.
we got Florence. Are you going to discuss about laser or just chatting about everyday life? Yes.
When did we?
Yes.
Jason.
So what are you guys
Anderson.
doing
Hi,
Saturday?
Hi guys. I asked about an OM-Tech last week. I found a Boss LS128 105 watt with 5 hours of use. For 5K with a rotary chiller and some extras. I jumped on it, but curious your thoughts on it. Matt, how do you feel about your Boss after the last 3 days?
Honestly, like it's still a great machine. So it's 3 days of frustration in the midst of 5.5 years of using it. I feel like as far as like if we're doing a like peas to carrots, that's 3 days out of 365 times 5. So it's pretty solid.
Not
percentage.
bad.
And even then it was a quick fix. And I'm sure that if I needed to, like I don't have any pressing jobs. The good news for me is I literally just got done with so much work that I'm just like, I actually said, I took one of the guys from Discord and I were talking this morning. I think it was Bunny Washer. And like, we literally were like, he was saying, say no to people. It's okay to say no to people. And I was like, yeah, I do need to say no to people. And so that was definitely one of those things where I was okay. I didn't have any huge work that I couldn't get done with the Galvos. And that was the other nice thing is I got the Galvos as backup. So I had a couple of big 20-inch olive wood boards that I had to get done. And I just lined things up nicely, measured it out with a little pencil marks and knocked them out quick. But it's a good one. So looking at the Boss, if you're getting it for cutting, I would definitely recommend if you can afford going up to the 155, I think they've got as an option. That's what I use it for. It's a great cutting machine. I got the California Air Tools to push it for the deeper cuts. I've cut 3/4 inch stuff before in 2 passes, but I've only had to do that once. But it would consistently cut 1/2 inch stuff and for $5,000, that's super cheap for 105 watts. I feel like so. I will say one of the things that we've run into with Boss Laser, we actually recommended. I'm not shooting them down or anything. I'm just giving information. We actually had another customer who I pointed in the direction of Boss Laser, and then I said to save you money on their chiller though, instead of buying the CW 5500 or whatever. I said, why don't you buy Light Objects? And I said it's actually going to save you like $300, and it's the same machine but a different paint coat, you know. And when they told the people at Boss that they were going to buy a chiller from Light Object, they were like, "Oh, that's going to actually make your warranty not work anymore." And I was like, I don't know. I think that might have been a salesperson fuck up, in my opinion, because I don't understand how that. Because afterwards they can't control what you buy. So yeah, that was the one thing that put a bad taste in my mouth about the company. I didn't experience it personally, so I'm just giving you guys, you know, trying to give you a fair shake on what they might say or do.
It's an anecdote.
If that happens, I would say ask for a sales manager to confirm that or get it in writing, because that's really weird. You know, because what happens when you buy an aftermarket lens? Like I've got a $32 lens in there versus their $155 one. Does that mean now I'm fucked? So that'd be my take on it. But I think other than that, they've been a great company. I bought another machine from somebody else, and when it transferred to me, I still get the care that the person before me had. So they still like guarantee that machine. So anyways, any other questions that I'm missing? I think that's pretty good.
I think you covered the Boss one. I just looked up the MSRP on that without sales. So obviously I don't know what the extras are in that, but $9,290, and it's on sale for $7,151. So to give up 5 hours of use to save $2,200 at least, if you were to buy it brand new today, that's not a bad.
The one thing buying a used laser too that I would just throw out there, I missed the part that was used because I was trying to get some links and stuff. But the one thing I would say is make sure, just because it has 5 hours of use, it could have just been sitting there for 3 years. Look at the manufacture date, because that'll tell you what, for Boss at least, it'll tell you what series it is. Like right now, generation is series 5. And the other thing is that could also be, you might have a tube that's been sitting for 5 years, and even though it's only got 5 hours of use on it, it could be toward the end of its lifespan. So just things to consider.
Thankfully, 100-watt tubes are significantly cheaper than 125,
for sure.
130, 150-watt tubes. After you go past 100 watts, they get substantially more expensive. And the other thing to check on used machines, since we're on that topic too, check your belts, check your chains. So if you have a Z chain instead of a belt, check that. Make sure it's not rusted. Make sure it's lubed. If you have Z rods on all 4 corners, check those. Just make sure they're not rusty. I put a little dab of white lithium grease and run it up and down just to work it into the rod.
That's a couple of words I haven't heard in a long time.
White lithium grease?
Yeah.
The good stuff. Yeah. That'll be coming in my CO2 gantry maintenance video.
Nice.
We have it on the buying guide, by the way. Just so you know.
I actually have a tube of it in a spray can with a control nozzle on it.
That is a Michael Mullins lesson I learned, is the Lucas white lithium grease.
Yeah,
it's good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that back in the day.
That's from my baby fledgling laser days.
Yeah. And the only other thing I can think of is check the condition of the cooling passages in your tube. So look around the stickers through the tube, check the cooling pass, make sure they're not full of like algae or gross crap. Maybe flush the system. So if it has been sitting, if you check that manufacture date, just give everything a good flush, fresh distilled water.
Cap full of bleach.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to take some tools with you and dig into that thing when you go check it out. Like I bought a used laser off of Facebook Marketplace just recently, and I knew it was broke going into it, and like wanted to try and diagnose some potential issues. So like I told the lady, hey, I'm going to show up, I'm going to dig into it a little bit, figure out what's going on. As long as it's not the laser source that's the source of the issue, then we're good. And I ended up fixing that thing for $3.99. So
nice.
There you go.
Good deal.
Frank says, I'm ordering a watt fiber laser in June. Where do I find those video tutorials on setting everything up? Click on our channel, and up at the top, you're going to see a playlist section. And what you're looking for is Lightburn for Galvo or EasyCAD, you know, whichever you prefer, but Lightburn.
Probably Lightburn for Galvo.
Yep. And Michael also has some great videos about business and projects and everything. So check him out.
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony is also working on that. So check him out too.
Beam It Up Laser Works.
We'll have links to both in the description if they're not already there. But
yes,
lots of information for you. APY, you guys spoke about the old days of taking the laser out to gun shows. That's my plan once I figure this thing out. Any tips and tricks, do's and don'ts? Running a 100 watt JPT M7, a 110, a 175, and a 300 lens.
Be expensive. I think Michael and I mean, I don't know. You're the boss, man. In this recollection,
dude,
but
we just that was our first time. You know, we just said let's go and see what happens. You know.
Yeah, I think across the board, looking back, we probably should have charged more. For sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you can't do there won't be shortage of work will not be an issue for you. And you're not going to do everything that you are asked to do while you're there. So one, make sure I would bring somebody that can just sell your business to the people that aren't getting stuff done that they want done on the spot, because you can't do that and work at the same time, and you're there to make money. So make sure somebody's making money and somebody's selling the business. First of all. Second of all, have some system for like collecting things and then or scheduling time slots in advance if you're not like an FFL or whatever, so that you have like an organized system for handling these types of items, because obviously it's not JP plus utility knives, you know, so it's a little more complicated than that. And then just charge enough. Those are my three things. If you don't charge enough, you're just going to leave feeling like you didn't make any money. So
yeah.
I got a
go ahead, Michael.
What?
Oh no,
yeah.
I wonder where he's located.
Yeah, true. That matters.
What state he's in.
Yeah, knowing local regulations, big thing.
Yeah, that was the one thing. The one thing I immediately realized that we didn't really account for was like I had come up with this concept that we were going to have like a tattoo book, right? All these preloaded, ready to go vector files that people could pick from. There was like a military category, there was like a America category, there was skulls category, you know, just anything that we thought people would want to just quickly get put on their magazine well, or, you know, maybe a PMag or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people were interested in that. You know what they wanted? They wanted their own stuff. I remember them wanting their own stuff. Oh yeah, I got my logo right here. Can I just send it to you on your email real quick? And now you're dealing with tracing and vectoring and cleaning up. And, you know, like Alex said, there's going to be plenty of people, and you're going to get the knife guys too. Knife guys are going to come by. They're going to want something cool on their blade, so be prepared for that too. Just because you're at a gun show doesn't mean that other people with other objects aren't going to. So if you want to make the most of it, you're going to have to limit to the size of the engraving you can do, the complexity of it, and you're going to have to say no to certain things. You're going to get people that are going to ask you if they can drop off their pistol and you can do full filigree work and come back and get it in an hour. That's the kind of people you're going to get. And you're just like, no, but that's where Alex said, have somebody who can take that order and do it later.
Set boundaries before you leave.
Set boundaries
before you leave, and then you have to stick to them when you're there. If it's stuff that you would rather them schedule an appointment for and come to your business to get done later, you have to stick with that, regardless of how much you could make in the moment. Even if you could do it in one day there at the show, if you do that one piece and you make $500 or whatever, all of the people you could have had a positive interaction with at that time at the gun show have
Opportunity
now been
cost.
pushed aside because you had to focus on that one job.
Yep.
I have a
All those people, we
question.
had to turn away so many people. I remember, Alex, and we probably at least 20 pissed off people that were waiting in line that we just couldn't get to because we started taking on.
We stayed late multiple
Yeah.
days.
We started taking on custom things here and there, just trying to laser our way through it. But yeah, you don't want to end up with people pissed that they couldn't get something done.
I got a question for Michael. So knowing all that, because that's really good information, have you ever thought about, and this is just like, as I was listening to you guys all say that, would like, because if you've got like your helper with you or like your secondary, would you be able to have like a Google form, like a QR code to a Google form where they fill out all the information and they could drop off the piece and leave it with you? Would that be something you'd want to do?
A lot of these dudes they're kind of old school. I don't think some of them think that was really convenient, and other people would be like, "What?"
I don't have a cell phone. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Well, and I'm wondering too, like you said, those pissed off people. Maybe instead of 20, it's now 10. I don't know. I'm just trying to.
Well, and that's where like the regulations are going to come into play too. Like Anthony was saying,
now you're taking possession and all
can't,
that.
you can't take possession of it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't, even if you had an FFL.
Well, I meant more for like the knives and like the custom stuff.
Yeah, and we did that. We did that with knives, but like those aren't the people that are going to be the giant pain in the ass. So
yeah,
technically speaking,
I want to say is that Alex and I had set up a curtain, and all the operation was done in a controlled environment. So we didn't have the fiber laser out at the front counter for all the kiddos to come and, whoa, look at that, look at the sparks fly. Like we were completely enclosed in a safe environment, wearing goggles away.
It was like a legitimate pipe and drape kit.
It was legit. So keep the action walled off and away from prying eyes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if you blind somebody or you affect somebody's vision, not only is that going to come down on you negatively, it's going to come down on your insurance, your wallet, maybe your house negatively, and also probably not look great to the general public and probably lose some customers that way too. But I would also recommend running really light. You probably don't want to come with all three lenses. Probably just go with the 175 because you can probably do almost everything with it.
You have 100 watt, you're fine.
Yeah. Don't bring all three lenses because it's one more thing. If you're swapping out lenses, you're losing time, you're losing efficiency, and you're increasing the chances of you dropping a lens and breaking it.
Yeah, just
you're in a rush.
Your margin of error in total is going to go up because you could select the wrong profile or do something. You lose track of that stuff. You stick with that one size, and it's butter.
By the way,
can I just say, do not go and attempt to do what Alex and I did if you don't have 150% confidence.
Oh yeah.
In operating your fiber laser.
It's fair.
Because you want to talk about butt puckering.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were very good at what we were doing for the time, and I had a lot. I think I was doing most of it, but I had a very high level of confidence in using my machine on people's firearms.
It took me 2.5 years before I was
I didn't screw up one person's thing that whole show. And so if you don't have that kind of confidence, don't even try it. Because you're going to screw something up.
Yeah,
and you're going to
that's where you really have to have a process down, like he was saying, having that control. Because one person asks you a question, you look away for a second, and the other person walks up and says, "Oh, it looks ready to go. I see it framed up, but you forgot to change the setting, and now you blast."
You were focused on one plane on the last guy's firearm, and then you forgot to refocus to the Glock slide on the next one. Toast, dude. You're toast.
All right, and Miranda, if I don't post this, I'll be toast probably. It says, do your own research. We don't know nothing about nothing. That is her professional disclaimer when it comes to gun shows.
There you go.
It's true.
Which, by the way, is very true.
Call your local ATF agent.
Yeah, every state, every place, man. So different.
Yeah.
So I invited someone to the show at some point, just so you know. So if somebody pops in, it is someone invited. All right, go for it.
King Chief, a question. If you're doing a deep engrave and using auto rotate, does it really matter what your starting angle is? No, it doesn't.
Good question.
Just set up the rotation correctly and you'll be fine. The whole point of auto rotate is to keep the engrave looking even. So as long as you have that going, it really doesn't matter which angle you start with.
Easy question, easy answer. I like it.
Yep. Laura's looking at a 5-watt UV Galvo. Which lenses would you recommend? What do you guys think?
I got a 70 and a 150. So that's what I got. I don't know.
So Kyle and I were actually messing around like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago now, configuring the UV laser. We were setting up every single lens as if it were brand new. And part of that process was measuring spot sizes, because as you go up in lens size, your spot size increases. It's a big problem with something like a CO2 Galvo, certainly noticeable with a fiber laser. Interestingly enough, after the 70, pretty much every lens had the same exact spot size. And Kyle was watching on the microscope. I had the HDMI fed through to the video switcher, and I believe the 70 was 0.025 millimeters spot size. Really small, guys. This is really, really, really small.
That's without
And
overlap.
then without overlap. And then every other lens, all the way up to, I think we did up to 220, had, or 300 even, had a 0.3 or a 0.03. So it's not the same situation that you're going to face with something like a fiber or, God forbid, a CO2, where you're going to be grappling with the increasing spot size as you go up in lens size. Now, this wasn't the world's most scientific testing, but it was thorough. It was certainly thorough, and they're very interesting findings. So with that in mind, I would say you're probably freer to experiment with the UV on larger lenses than you otherwise would feel on different systems. That said, you are still going to experience a loss in your depth of field as you increase your lens size, and that can be a big problem, especially on Galvo lasers, because when you're on a short lens, it's not really noticeable. But on larger lenses, especially after like the 200 millimeter plus, the distance between the scan head and your material is shorter at the center than it is at the edges. And the larger your lens size goes, the bigger that difference is going to be. We're talking like 5 millimeters. It could be on like a 300 millimeter. So it's on a laser where depth of field is already particularly narrow, you're going to really start to notice those issues when you get up into the larger lens sizes. So just be aware of that. That said, I haven't had any serious problems getting good power density out of any size lens I've tested with the UV. So as long as you're aware that your depth of field is going to be an issue as you move up in those lens sizes, you do have a little more leeway to experiment with different size lenses without power density loss. So, start small. I would start small, just like with anything else. You're going to see the most power density with a small lens, and it's going to be the easiest to learn the, quirks of each lens if you start at a lower lens size and work your way up. A lot of people like to start at the biggest lens size, but those are the most difficult to manipulate. So start small, work your way up as needed, and you'll be fine.
I think a nice even spread, like a 110 and a 210. I don't even think you're probably ever going to want to go bigger than that.
Yep. By the way, hi, Jason.
Hey, it's Jason Wright from RotoBoss.
There he is.
How's everybody doing
Sent me a
tonight?
message like 15 minutes ago,
Hanging out,
like,
man.
bring me in, coach. Let's go. Oh,
Mike wants to know if we have any X1 or F1 Ultra predictions from X Tool.
It will be expensive.
Yeah. It looks expensive. Are you getting one of those, Michael?
Just landed in my garage today.
Oh,
God damn it. Will you email them and be like,
Dude,
yo, my boy over at
dude.
Laser Everything?
They sent me the the smoke extractor, and they sent me the smoke. What do they call it? The smoke cleaner. And they sent me the Ultra, and they sent me the conveyor belt.
Oh,
too.
damn, bro, it's on.
I have not seen anybody else in their little sneak peek preview show the conveyor belt, and I was like, why is none of these people that got their Ultras showing the conveyor belt? Maybe they're still waiting for it, but mine arrived, and I am more excited to open the conveyor belt than I am to open the Ultra. What does that tell you about that? I don't know why.
I really
need
want
you
to
to send. I need you to send an influencer email for me and be like, "Yo, my boy over at Laser Everything hasn't gotten an Ultra. What's going on? Where is it?"
They're afraid you're going to rip it apart and show it, show everything, and maybe they don't want that. Maybe they just want to review.
Just pressure them a little bit.
But yeah, it just arrived. So prediction on price, I honestly don't have any insider information really on that.
$1 million.
But I can tell you that I am very excited to put it all together and start unboxing it and check it out. And I'll be reporting all my findings.
Well,
Good and bad. Good
I
and
guess
bad.
we're gonna have to go to Laser Engraving 911 if you want to see the Ultra.
if you pre-order before I think midnight tonight, it's you get locked in at like $37.99 without the conveyor. So you put $100 down, $37.99 is the advertised price. Allegedly, if you do it after today, it's going to go up to $47.99. So you save $1,000 by putting that $100 down. But I don't know. I mean, it might just be a thing to drive people to. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But there's going to be a launch party, whatever, live stream by Extra tomorrow at like 8 p.m. So, and then I expect that probably after that, there's going to be a lot of reviews dropping because they more than likely have some sort of an embargo with all their creators saying, hey, we don't want you to put out any reviews until we do the official launch tomorrow. And then it's going to be the floodgates will open. So,
I'm sure they are just waiting to make that video public. They're probably already, a lot of them have already made their stuff. Mine just came here today, and that's fine. I actually kind of like that. You know what I mean? Because I kind of like to watch, other people kind of stumble through putting it together. Some of the other creators.
The highest quality.
I'm just like,
the highest quality reviews always come out before the product even releases. So those are the ones to keep an eye on.
And we had a slide, I think it was Mike C, the guy that asked the question on Discord. He kind of did a screen capture on a video that they released recently, and it looks like that it's a Raycus source that's inside that guy. So it's going to be
Matt was nodding his head yes that whole time, and I was totally being super sarcastic.
No, I'm literally I'm thinking about the fact that there's a lot of people who don't really use Galvos, and they're going to be doing videos on this, and because they know it's it's going to be a good selling product, and they wanted to get their hands on it to do it. And I think there's going to be people who, from both camps, are trying to figure stuff out. So I think Michael was pretty spot on with what he was saying. And especially the fact that it's people who use Lightburner are going to have to use, what's their program called that they have?
XCS.
Yeah. So for the people who are familiar with the program, they've got that, but they might not be as familiar with the Galvo with a 200 millimeter workspace. Because don't they have a 210 workspace now?
220. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the 20 watt. So it's going to be interesting I think you're right. Unless the people have had it for a while and they can show their successes, it's going to be I think there's going to be a lot of cuts to finished products.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of rushed kind of overview. I mean, it's just the nature of it, but I like to gather more information, take a little bit of time with it, and then I'll drop mine. I'm excited. I'll try to have some fun with it. I had fun with the X-Tool screen printer video. I just had fun making that. I literally didn't know what I was doing, and that video did really well. I enjoyed making that.
You did so good. I bought one.
Do you remember?
I watched that review and I was like, I got to do it.
That's so funny you say that, dude, because earlier in the show, we were talking about how Miranda wanted the DTF and then she was like, nah, fuck that, I'm out. 5 minutes later, she watched Michael's episode about the fucking screen printer. And now that's the thing that she wants. So.
It's a nice unit. It really is. I did an unboxing.
It works.
And live stream and it's solid. Really well built, contraption. I don't want to call it a machine, but you know,
Yeah,
whatever
dude,
it
I
is,
used to
it's
be an
solid.
X-Tool hater, man. I thought they were all marketing, but like they fucking make some nice shit.
He,
so.
dude, when he did the unboxing, like I was actually in the studio, you know, like I was like watching him do the unboxing, and all he would say is like, the boxes are so pretty and so nice, and he just like really having like a good time with that. Speaking of DTF, Jason does DTF, right? Like you've got DTF transfers. Do you sell them, or how? Like, what do you think of DTF versus DTG and all that? I know it's kind of going all over the place, but what do you think?
I mean, the DTF is more versatile. The DTG is specific to garments. You got to pre-treat, post-treat. Sometimes you got to heat press as well. So I mean, there's a lot of extra steps with the DTG. With the DTF, you just do a heat transfer.
Press, transfer, done.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
So and there's a lot of stuff you can do with the DTF over the DTG. It's like putting it on pretty much anything that'll accept the heat and the pressure from pressing. You can stick it to. We've done it to cups. We've done it to hats and shirts and bags and all kinds of different stuff.
I know a
Acrylic
guy that
is
was
tough.
doing it on canvases, like blank canvases, and he was doing
Yeah.
DTF on that, making artwork and stuff. It was pretty cool.
I like the
what I thought about
UV.
too
I like
was,
the UV print
fundraisers.
on canvas.
So here's a weird question. Would it be cheaper to buy a UV printer to print color on leatherette hat patches, or hear me out, buy pre-made DTF gang sheet color and press that on the leatherette patch to make color patches? What would be cheaper?
In the long run or the short term?
I don't know. Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
A good UV printer is going to cost you anywhere north of $20,000.
Right.
And you got to have flexible inks versus the rigid inks.
Yeah.
The DTF is pretty good for leatherette. I've done it a couple times. But the problem with that, just like if you use hard ink on UV, is it's going to crack. As the patch flexes, it's going to crack at some point. I mean, it stretches to an extent, but you know it can still crack on you. The flexible UV is less likely to do it, I guess. But you know, if you're not going premium with it, then you know DTF would be just fine.
See, that's a good question, man.
Alex, I think that we should just LogoJet should just send us each a UV printer, and we'll put it to the test against the DTF. We'll figure it out. LogoJet, if you're listening, just shoot us a couple of those units.
He told me to go nuts with it.
Here's a UV hat I did for every year we go to Monster Jam.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
That's UV printed on leatherette, but the problem with it is I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, but the top there.
See it cracking.
Oh,
right up here.
That's interesting.
But I mean, it works. Like when it's relaxed, you can't see the cracks. But the flexible inks will be a lot better. So you got that. But when you see the cracks,
they sell a set of flexible inks if you want to load your machine with that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. The ink that I use on this, I haven't switched over to the flexible yet. But that was a rigid. I just wanted to try it. 1 and 2, I usually embroider them. But I was kind of short on time, so I UV printed them to see how they would turn out, and they turn out great. Like I said, when it's relaxed and not bent, you can't see the cracks. It's just when it's folded. But obviously with the cracks, you run the risk of it flaking off at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know if Miranda's still here and listening. If she is, she can tell us if we have a guest next week. I don't think that we do, but I just want to make sure. Jason, I told you that you could pop in for the last 10 minutes. I was hoping for like a little sneak preview of what you are going to come on the podcast very soon to be talking about for an hour. Are you prepared to give a sneak preview for that?
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
All right.
I'll share the screen.
while he's doing that, the one thought I had to go with what Michael said would be like if you're doing events like he said, that's where I wonder like Richardson and other companies make the 5-panel instead of 6 so that it's just one flat panel. And that's where I'm wondering if you could just like for an event make, you know, X amount of like I'm gonna take the risk and I'm gonna spend $600 on hats. I'm gonna spend $350 because I think the patches come out to like $3 a piece, the prints.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna spend. So if I drop $1,000 and I sell the hats for $25 a piece at an event, you know, like that's a pretty good profit, like $2,000 profit for a day. And then the other thing is you don't even have to put those on the hats if you don't want to. You could just take the loss on that and then make the hats later with something else. So
You can. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like I
that's
feel like there's a lot of flexibility.
a lot of people do that with the DTF stuff when they go to shows like that. They'll just bring the transfers ready to put on, so that way they didn't waste the hats. You know, still got the blank hats at the end of the day. Eat it on the transfers.
Yeah.
So,
And that's where you just like, hey, I'll sell you a transfer for $1. Here you go. By the way, LBX is coming up. I think Laura was mentioning in Resin Studios was talking about LBX coming up in New York. What? I'd love to go to LBX next year. Depends on how far into New York it is.
It is. I can tell you exactly how far into New York it is.
It's like 8 blocks away from the Empire State Building. It's
wow.
It's a little more, but not far off. It's like 5 blocks away from Madison Square Park.
Yeah, it's in Manhattan.
It's a 20-minute taxi ride from LaGuardia or a 30-minute taxi ride from JFK. If that helps at all. But it is like in the middle of the island.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I think it's really cool. They gave us a year worth of time to know and get reservations, do all that kind of stuff if you wanted to. I mean, fortunately, New York's got plenty of places to stay and lots of ways to get to the places, but still save some money if you can.
10-minute taxi ride from Grand Central if you take the train in.
By the way, I bet they'll probably have a block. Like they'll probably have a couple of hotels that I'm sure they'll get blocks in. So that could be a way to save money too if you wait and register through them. So
yeah, Mark, about Airbnbs. I got to get enough room for the fam, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Maybe we can get like a mansion.
Hell yeah, dude! Party house.
You know,
I'm down.
Laser Everything party house. Yeah,
Long Island.
Have
I'll bring my brats.
all the fams. Long Island edition. Long.
It'd be so weird to hear like everybody sound like Alex and Miranda. Miranda's like literally when I first started working here, Miranda was like, I don't have an accent, okay? And I'm like, all right, sure you don't.
Miranda, Laura wants to know if you're going. It's not that close. That's like a 7-hour drive for them. Maybe a little more.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
Dude,
still
I was excited.
It's not down the road, but yeah, I get it.
I'm still going to take the
like-
train. Fuck parking in New York City. I'm not doing that.
For me, I was excited because it was like $150 or like $200 for a flight there, round trip. On a
Doing
Well,
that
yeah, if you buy ahead,
No, that was Delta. That's the thing. I thought it was like JetBlue, and I was like, Delta. Like they're probably gonna throw me in an overhead compartment or something. Like,
right?
yeah, that's the thing. If you fly in, it's really, I mean, it's a 20 or 30-minute drive in on a taxi, but there's public transportation into the city from there. It's not that big of a deal.
Brandon says
This
we
is
don't live in the
ridiculous.
city.
No. You basically live in Canada. Reindeer says, could a 3D fiber be used to deep engrave a hex shape into a custom bolt head, like an Allen cap head? I mean, you could.
Realistic enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are we like technical question? Like theoretically, or like you actually want to do that?
I mean, it's possible.
How big is
are
it?
you gonna do it the first time around accurately? Hell no. Good luck getting the depth you want. But is it possible? Yes.
Yeah. The other
There
thing
you
too
go.
is it like a lag bolt that you're talking about, or are you talking like an M6? You know, like,
Yeah,
with
like a machine screw.
yeah.
No.
Rough.
Wait, Michael, you got an F1 Ultra? I was scrolling through YouTube and just saw your post. Yes.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Watch his channel for when it comes out in a week or two.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Yep.
question for Matt. Are there any
I think I
things
got
that a CO2 galvo isn't meant for that you found works really well for you?
Fast answer for this one. Are there any things that CO2 galvo isn't meant for that you found works really well for you? No, I mean, it's a CO2 laser, so you're kind of limited. It's very versatile. It works just like the CO2 gantry would. But one of the things I didn't think it would work well, because Alex made sure to tell me a whole bunch of times how it really wouldn't do well with fine detail. But honestly, because we got the expander, Kyle and I have the same machine. Because I got the beam expander, it made the dot size much smaller. And I, even with my 200, get really, really nice, fine work, way better than I thought it would for the dot size that it has. So I think that's the biggest surprise that I could share. And if I was going to use it for tumblers, I'd get a 150, because I think most things that are like maybe a 150 or a 200 would be the most I would go. Also because the tower, the throw on that, it's going to be huge. So you need an 80 centimeter tower or 70 centimeter tower. And you can still get fine design and have a 6-inch to 8-inch, which is going to cover any cup. So
I really need to make like a hour-long episode just called CO2 laser optics that no one's going to watch, but we need to like break that down, like the SL1 and SL2 galvo lenses and how they work with the beam expanders and the input apertures on the lenses and the beam diameters. It's just like a whole, I could just talk about that for hours. Jason, did you say you found what you were looking for, bro?
Yeah, I got it.
Let's see it, dude.
And we got something else coming in a couple months too, just so you know.
Oh my god, you're like freaking the Chinese companies. Just every 3 months you got a new product.
Thanks, tool man. All right, here we go. You ready? Popping you up.
Yes. Boom.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, fancy. Good Lord.
Beefy.
Thing looks like a fucking Star Destroyer.
The X-Wing.
Dude, that's sick.
That is sick. We're not going to talk about it at all right now.
Oh, all right. I was just
Did
about to say,
did Miranda ever say if we had a guest next week? I don't think we do. Do you want to come on next week, Jason? Oh, she said no.
Sure.
We don't. Great. Now we do. Jason Reif next week, right here on the Laser Source podcast.
Nice.
We'll talk all about the video you just watched. I'm looking forward to it, dude. I want to hear about the evolution.
I'll make sure I bring it with me.
Nice.
Yep. And I've actually got a video coming out on the Ascend soon. I hope it's in the queue.
All right, Kyle. We're 15 over. Before we close, do you want to do just like a speed? Are we caught up?
We got 2 left.
All right, go. Speed run.
What's Boyce's business? I want to check him out. I think it's Masico Designs.
Masico Designs. Yep.
Yeah.
He pops in every once in a while. Watch for his name.
Yeah, we should have Boyce back on.
Matt just bought an X-Tool F1 and is looking to make custom tokens and cards. Needs 2.5 by 3.5 inch metal blank cards. There are some people who sell them on Alibaba and AliExpress. Otherwise, go to basically any company that makes business cards blanks
and
ask them to make a stamp size for you.
So that's funny that Matt asked that. I've been looking for the same thing for a very long time that isn't garbage, and I can't find it. So if you find it, Matt, please let me know where you get it, because this is something that I've desperately searched for the same exact reason you are searching for it, and I have been unable to locate something that I find suitable. So if you find something, let me know.
What are you talking about, Alex?
It's so business cards. He wants business cards that are the size of trading cards
Pokemon
for trading
cards.
card
Yeah.
games. So Pokemon cards, Magic cards, whatever. They're a little tiny bit shorter and like 20%
They're
fatter.
Yeah.
And there's just they're impossible to find. They're really hard to find. You can get like crappy ones here and there, but they're like the 0.2 like shittily anodized ones, not like
paper,
the
metal aluminum foil paper.
And as you're doing
the aluminum
they
foil
start
paper.
warping.
Not what you want to use for custom tokens and stuff.
I am super interested in that, and I just wanted to say that, Matt. So please, if you do find a supplier, I've looked on Alibaba, I've looked on AliExpress, I've talked to dozens of people about what it would take to like get them manufactured on a consistent basis, and
They just
I've
need
just
to be
been
anodized.
unsuccessful. Yeah,
They just need to be anodized some color. Why don't you guys reach out to Chubarka, dude? He does custom cuts all the time, and his stuff is thick. His cards
I
are
know.
thick.
God, I'm hearing the cash register ka-chings.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I know. I love Chubarka, dude.
It's
I have
quality.
a huge bag from them too. I
It's
need
quality.
to dig through. But
Dude, his business cards and stuff is
I
quality.
wonder if you
He'll
could talk
cut
to
those
Market
shapes.
custom engraving blanks to like figure that out.
well, Mark shears, and I don't think that sheared
He
edges
doesn't
would
do
be good for this
anodized. He
particular.
just does. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a little anodizing, but
Yeah, I just did
um,
100 anodized aluminum plates from him, so I'm wondering if he had like. I know he doesn't do the anodizing, but like, just saying cheap, easy to grab, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Wow. Thanks to everybody who's here today. All
Popping off today.
some odd of you in chat. It's popping off today, and our guesties, Jason and Anthony and Michael. What's up, man?
Yeah,
It's been too long. You gotta. I mean, Anthony's been pretty consistent. You need to not ever have a lapse like that again. You've been gone for like a month and a half, so we gotta get you back on soon. And Kyle, Matt, thank you for your service, gentlemen. Appreciate you. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Do it for the gummy bear. And what do we got coming out? We got Michael's episode on his engraving, his mobile engraving experience.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Do you have anything? You have anything you're rolling together, Anthony? You got some stuff?
Man, I'm gonna try and get another live out, hopefully this week if I can. So,
dude, I had a lot of fun hanging with you on that one the other day. That was like super chill. Yeah. If you guys haven't, like, go sub to Anthony's channel. I think he's got like 60 subs right now. We can do better than that. We've got at least 60,000 over here, guys. So go follow the link in the description to Beam It Up Laserworks on YouTube and hit that subscribe button.
I've got kind of a thing I'm doing right now where I'm buying just trash lenses and then just seeing how they can figure out and how they work. So if anybody finds like a sub $30 lens on like Amazon or AliExpress or something, shoot it over to me and I'll probably buy one and test it out just because I don't know.
Nice.
I've got like an infatuation with trash lenses right now just to see if, you know, these things are any good. So
I like it. And Jason, you'll be here next week, Tuesday, 9:00. We're going to talk about what's next in Rotoboss world. So I'm super stoked on that too, man.
Sounds like a plan.
Kyle's episode on creating outlines for thingies and engraving them with patterns. That's tomorrow. So if you guys want to see that, come back to the channel tomorrow.
The
probably
official
around
title of the video.
10:30. I don't remember. Kyle probably has
that's the official title. Make that the title, dude.
Kyle has the official title. What's the official title, Kyle?
Making stuff and things and stuff and things.
With lines.
You're fired.
And outlines.
Create a template for any product, form fit any art you want, and align it to production.
There you go. And Matt, I don't know what Matt's doing. Matt's doing stuff. What are you doing? You're making thumbnails. All right, guys, that's it.
Oh,
go ahead.
Like I say, I've got the sublimation one that I've got, and I've got the Jason's Ascend video because I had that huge order that had like all different kinds of cup shapes and sizes and colors and everything. And it was just like showing you how easy it is to make your money back fast with that thing.
Everybody in chat now is like, me too. We did a shout out last week for Resin Dragon Studios because I was shitting my pants about resin. That's awesome. Go check out Resin's channel. And apparently Laura's on YouTube, Laser of Love Creations. Did you guys know Laura had videos?
No.
I did not.
Apparently she does.
Yeah, and there's also 3D HP down there, has a cool channel with all kinds of...
Oh yeah, on 3D printing if you want to do that. Welcome to Shout Out Hour. All right, guys, that's it. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Go to bed. Go find something to do. If you're in Australia, pet a kangaroo. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Night,
Another
everybody.
shit on the bye.
Bye.
Adios.